Dear friends, as we know that entire world is struggling with COVID-19 infections from last year 2020. So many drugs were in use to treat COVID-19 like hydroxychloroquine, remdesivir, ivermectin, etc. WHO also recommended combination of drugs. Suddenly second wave of SARS-CoV-2 came to India with new mutant strains. We all Indians were terribly hurt by sudden attack of invisible enemy SARS-CoV-2, that is COVID-19. In that distress period, DRDO gave us a ray of hope, that is 2DG. 2DG, it's a synthetic glucose analog, and above all, it's non-metabolizable. This is the thing, that's why DRDO and their nuclear medicine scientists thought that it can be used to treat COVID-19 patients. If we have to check chemical structure of this 2DG, it's known as 2-deoxy-D-glucose. Why it's called as 2-deoxy-D-glucose? Because it's a glucose molecule which is having two hydroxyl group replaced by hydrogen, so that it cannot undergo further glycolysis. Before going ahead, let me tell you how by respiration, with the help of utilization of oxygen, different nutrients they are broken into simpler components. Like carbohydrates are there in our food we are taking in a daily diet. With the help of different enzymes, it's broken into glucose. Proteins are broken into amino acids and fats into fatty acid and glycerol. Again, if we check different forms of sugar, there are monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. All three, they are broken into glucose and fructose. During the process of respiration, with the utilization of oxygen, glucose is further broken into ATP, that's the form of energy. That energy is used for various life activities, and it's also broken into carbon dioxide and water. That is with the process of glycolysis. Now, before explaining you, let me compare about the process and line of action of both glucose and 2DG. Glucose actually during glycolysis, it is broken into glucose 6-phosphoric acid, whereas 2DG, it's uptaken by glucose transporters of cell as a cell growth inhibitor. It is not able to break glucose into glucose 6-phosphoric acid. Again, I am explaining same process, that is glycolysis, where normally if we check, glucose is broken with the help of hexokinase enzyme and it needs some molecule of energy, that is ATP, and it's converted into glucose 6-phosphate, which is further converted into fructose 6-phosphate with the help of phosphoglucoisomerase. On the other hand, in case of 2-deoxyglucose, same enzyme, because when we'll give patient to 2DG, because we have to keep patient on without food, that is on fasting for 6 to 7 hours, and by that time there will be less glucose or no glucose in the cell, and when this drug will be given, then what will happen, that enzyme which has to actually act on glucose now will act on 2-deoxyglucose, and this will form 2-deoxyglucose 6-phosphate. And here is the change. This is the game changer. This is the trick, that how this enzyme will not able to convert 2-deoxyglucose 6-phosphate into further next chemical, and there will be substrate accumulation. Look here, if we check whole process, in the absence of glucose, 2DG is there, hexokinase is inhibiting its conversion, so it will disrupt the process of glycolysis. There is no oxygen requirement. That's why scientists are saying that by using this drug, the oxygen requirement will slow down, and because hexokinase is inhibiting glycolysis, so ATP depletion will be there, less energy will be there, and secondly, when 2DG will attack, on or will move in endoplasmic reticulum. As a result, there will be inhibition of N-glycosylation. As a result, endoplasmic reticulum stress will be there. Both the processes will lead to cell death. That's why when scientists they checked, they actually used this drug on different patients having severe or moderate symptoms of SARS-CoV-2, and they found on giving this drug for 2 to 3 days, and requirement of oxygen was less. And because of this 2DG, it's a glucose analog and it inhibits glucose metabolism, so ATP will not be there. As a result, viral particles they fail to multiply and their number will decrease. In addition to that, 2DG also increases oxidative the stress and inhibits N-linked glycosylation, and that process leads to autophagy, that is self-destruction. And this is not a new drug. Actually, 2DG was previously used for the treatment of various cancers or tumors, and this is used along with other drugs like chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and there it can efficiently slow cell growth and potently facilitate apoptosis in specific cancer cells. Apoptosis means it leads to programmed cell death. So same formula, scientists they found that when they will use 2DG as a drug, this 2DG will lessens the requirement of oxygen. Not only lessens the requirement of oxygen, but it can also reduce multiplication or growth of COVID-19 viral particles. So India is expecting a lot from its first COVID drug. Hopefully, we get tremendous production of this drug to treat more and more COVID patients. It will be effective to heal entire world from COVID-19. Thanks for watching this video. Do subscribe my channel Medical Research. I'm going to share another videos on treatment of COVID-19 like monoclonal antibodies and interferons in future. Thanks a lot.